All right, so good morning. What we're going to do today is make an amazing green smoothie using Swiss chard from my garden. This is what makes it special. I have a little plot of land right behind me, you see right there. It's probably only 3 feet by maybe 6 feet, so it's perfect. This is my first full season gardening. It's easy when you're retired. You don't you don't have to operate anymore, spending more time in the garden. So let me show you what we got. All right, let's take a tour of the garden. All right, where are we here? Okay, so that's my big beef master tomato right down here. We'll take a look right there. All right, see, beef master. So that's gonna be a big tomato. They're coming along pretty good right there. Grapes, lavender. These are, I don't know if you can see these, Shishito Peppers. Looking pretty nice. I only did one Shishito Pepper plant this year. I'm kind of regretting that. I love Shishito Peppers. Check this out. Anyone know what this one is right here? This is, that's right, Thai basil. Thai basil. We got some cantaloupe coming up. This is naturally sprouting arugula. Okay, but here, let me show you our bad boy for today. Ready? Check this out. All right, this is what we're using. My one and only Swiss chard. Now this came up from a seed and it was the only one to come up. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just pluck off a few leaves. And for the smoothies, I wanna use these inner leaves right down through here, okay? We'll get some of these smaller, more tender leaves here. All right. Well, I guess since it's a smoothie, you can also use the older outer leaves because it's all gonna be blended up. Pretty cool, right? No bugs, nothing. So I got a handful right here. We got a handful of my Swiss chard. Let's take a taste. You want to have a taste? See what this bad boy tastes like. All right. So for those of you who don't know, or you're tired of maybe kale, I got a little ant crawling on me, or if you're tired of like kale or spinach all the time, try some different leafy greens. Okay. So this chard here, the Swiss chard, is gonna be real nice. You can buy it. Usually you see it like a rainbow Swiss chard, something like that. Let's take a taste. Let's see. Woo! Let me tell you, when you wow, that's bitter. When you plant your own greens, it doesn't taste anything like what you get out of the grocery store. All right, amen? Oh my God, this is so bitter. I want to make sure that's really Swiss chard and not like some weed I'm eating. I can tell by the stalk it's a Swiss chard. But damn. All right, give me some hearts if you know that like veggies from your garden is just like so much more powerful. All right, so here's the Swiss chard. This is gonna be what we do. Say goodbye to the garden. Say bye, garden. We're gonna make an amazing smoothie using the Swiss chard from the garden I just plucked. It's nice and fresh, and my gosh, it is so flavorful. By flavorful, I mean shit's bitter. Oh, damn, that's bitter. So, Swiss chard usually is not bitter, but when it comes fresh from the garden like that, it is. Now, why am I using it? Because I ran out of spinach, okay? But you can use any leafy greens. Remember, the word green in green smoothies refers to the leafy green. Now, because I tasted it and I know it's going to be bitter, I'm going to try to counteract that by making this really sweet, okay? So, let's get started. I'm gonna do pineapple. I like pineapple. The other thing that's really powerful about green smoothies is that you don't need like a lot of fancy recipes. So I have pretty much a go-to base recipe. Bananas, some fruits. Here's my banana. I like every smoothie to have a banana. If you're trying to be ketogenic or low carb, skip the banana and instead use an avocado. This is a pretty big avocado right here. If you're trying to be ketogenic or low carb, skip the banana, use half an avocado. Why half? I feel like using a whole avocado makes it taste really eggy. But for this recipe, because I know that that Swiss chard is quite bitter, I'm going to use a banana instead, full banana. Now, in a separate video, I'll show you, I use these banana peels and I'll put them in my garden and they'll compost. It's really nice. So don't throw anything away. So I've got pineapple, banana, frozen mangoes. So you can actually use frozen fruits and vegetables in your smoothies. And frozen is not as bad. It's actually really good because the fruits are picked when they're really ripe. So if you ever had, like, mango is probably one of my favorite fruits. Problem is sometimes you'll get a mango, it's not sweet, but the frozen mangoes will always be sweet. Why are they always sweet? Because they're picked at ripeness. So frozen fruits are the ones that the producers, they're about to go bad on the grocers, on the producers, so they end up freezing them. Now the vegetables I've noticed, because I've tried a couple of frozen vegetables, I don't like those as much. Why? Because they're usually par blanched. That means they're cooked real quickly in boiling water, and that kind of kills them, and then they freeze them. So that's what you get when you get like frozen corn, for example. So I've got pineapple, banana, and mangoes, and here goes my beautiful Swiss chard. Look at that. Oh, it's gonna be so nice and bitter. So I squinch it down in there. Now I'm trying this a different way because a viewer told me last time, put in the frozen fruit first, so when you turn this upside down, the weight of the fruit will push it down, the leafy greens. And I was like, that's pretty smart. We'll try that. All right. And then I like to use soy milk as my liquid base. You need a liquid. Now, if you are a weight loss surgery patient, or that's up to about there, or if you are working out and you're using water in your green smoothies, I would skip water. Avoid the water. Instead, you really want to try to use soy milk to get the extra protein and the other nutrients that go with soy milk. Water is nice, hydration is good, but remember you're getting some water in your greens. Now, you know what? My allergies have been acting up. So I'm going to throw in my trusty little bee pollen here to help with my allergies. It's funny, I never had allergies till I moved to New Mexico. All right, so bee pollen is amazing. You can get that at some local grocers and markets. It's a little bit harder to find. And bee pollen does not add sweetness to it. It's actually, I talk about bee pollen in my new book, Advanced Green Smoothies. You can get this book, you can pre-order right now on Kindle version. It's actually going to launch paperback August 1st. But you can go ahead and pre-order it now. I'll post a link somewhere on the post. Okay, so I got my bee pollen. And when I was doing the research for this book, it was interesting. Did you know that bee pollen has the most, is the substance that has the most animal protein in it? I think that's weird. The most protein created by an animal. Who knew? In bee pollen. All right, so again, one last time, if you need a liquid base, if you're a weight loss surgery patient or if you work out a lot, do not use water. All right, you can use soy milk because it has protein. Almond milk is fine too, but it doesn't have as much protein. You can use hemp milk. I've used that before, but hemp milk is really tough to taste. It's tough to get used to. Now, to make a green smoothie, you really need a emulsifying blender, not just a regular mixer, okay? So this is a Nutri Ninja. I've had it for 2.5 years. It's never failed on me. It's amazing. I got it for $70. I use it almost every morning, all right? Okay, cool. Check this out. We're gonna put this bad boy in here. And all you do is slap that on there. Oh, that was right. I like that tip about putting the fruit in first. green smoothies refers to the fact that we use the leafy greens. It does not refer to the color. So you can see this is a nice, beautiful green color, but green smoothie does not refer to the color of the smoothie. And I'm going to demonstrate why. So let's kick up the nutrition a little bit, okay? We know blueberries are super healthy for you, full of antioxidants. I'm going to throw in blueberries into this green smoothie. One, because I know the Swiss chard is bitter, because I tasted it. See, that's not quite, that's pretty thick. So I'm going to throw in these blueberries. And again, there's no measuring. I need a little bit more sweetness. Alright. And I'm also going to add, I want this a little bit thinner. This smoothie is a little bit too thick. Add a little bit more there. Y'all see that? Alright. Now, if you take a green smoothie and you add blueberries to it, or cherries, or anything with a red color, what's going to happen to the color of the smoothie? Let's see. Look at that. Woo! It's like Christmas. Isn't that cool? 2 shades. Alright. So what's happened to our smoothie? It's gone from green to this kind of purplish gray color. Why is this important that I show you this? Is because a lot of people who are new to green smoothies think the word green means the color of the smoothie. And they're like, oh my gosh, I ruined it. It didn't turn out green. It didn't turn out green, Dr. V. So remember, green refers to the fact that you're using leafy greens in your smoothie, not to the color of the smoothie. So today we use Swiss chard. A question about the bee pollen is that it's not honey. It is actually collected by the bees. It's what's on their legs and their pouches when they're going into the hives, and it gets extracted. So that's nice. I'm going to work it one more time. I promise you, if you start using these smoothies for your kids in the morning, they won't want to have other breakfast. You don't need to make a separate breakfast for you and your kid. Green smoothies, 29 out of 30 days out of the month is my breakfast. Let's take a taste. You want to see? See, like, some people think, like, oh, that looks gross. It's not going to taste good, but trust me, man. That's good. Now, man, that Swiss chard was pretty bitter, and that bitterness comes through. So if it's bitter, you can use a sweetener like honey. I would avoid things like stevia or Sweet and Low or Equal. But in the weight loss community, everyone is so obsessed over stevia. They think stevia is healthy for you, and it's really not. And I have a video on why it's not. It's just a chemical. And they're like, Dr. Vuong, it comes from plants. No. The chemicals discovered in the stevia plant, but the stevia package itself is made from chemistry, from artificial, from chemistry. It's not an actual ground up plant. And it's too sweet. All right, so today we used Swiss chard from my garden that was highly bitter, but it turned out to be a great smoothie. Recipes like this are in my new book, Advanced Green Smoothies. It's available for pre-order on Kindle, and it launches on paperback August 1st. When is that? Next week, right? So we got 1 week. Now this book is amazing. Check this out. It's got, how many recipes? I forgot. 30 recipes? No, 50 recipes. 50 recipes. And look, they have colored photos. Isn't that nice? A little description about the advanced ingredient, and it's got a place for you to take notes. So you can change up this recipe however you like. well, oh, I didn't like this flavor, etc., etc. That was that was one with dandelion. This is a banana smoothie using spirulina. I'm gonna start doing videos mostly every Monday about making smoothies. There's a segment on the advanced ingredients that you can read about to see why they're so nice for you. Advanced green smoothies, I'll put the link up. It'll be available August 1st, so be looking for that. All right, so I'm going to enjoy my green smoothie. I hope you will try to start a garden. I'll do more videos with my garden, so y'all can check that out too in the future. But I promise you, there is no healthier breakfast than a green smoothie. You pack in the nutrients, okay? If you're a weight loss surgery patient, remember, and let's say you've just had weight loss surgery, remember you can thin it down to make it really runny, so that's not too heavy onto your new surgery. And also, if you're particularly tight, this is 400 mLs, almost, it's about 15 ounces, 400 milliliters right there. You're not going to be able to drink all of this in one sitting. So I get that question a lot. How much am I supposed to drink? You're supposed to fill your body with nutrition. So someone write this down. Green smoothies are for nutrition. Green smoothies are for nutrition. They are not to make you feel full. That's a big one for those of you still watching. Green smoothies are for nutrition. They're not supposed to make you feel full, right? So if you nourish your body, it's going to really help you with hunger. Think about that. If you nourish your body, it will help you with hunger, because hunger is your body's way of trying to tell you that you need nourishment, right? So, especially if you've had weight loss surgery, you're going to want to take this to-go cup. You can take this with you and just sip on it throughout the day. Your first sitting, you might only be able to take all this. Now, if you're 2 or 3 years out, you might be able to drink this with no problem, right? Just think about that. Okay. If you're focused on nutrition, then you don't have to worry about carb counting, protein counting, none of that stuff. I promise you, everything that you saw in this video is much more nutritious than your premier protein shakes, trust me. All right, love y'all very much. See you next time for the next recipe. Dang, that's good.